retrograde.
Okay. You're all set. Welcome to the August 21st meeting of the Planning Board. This meeting will come to order. This is a public proceeding, and unless the board specifically votes to go into executive session, you have the right to hear everything that is being said and to look at all exhibits that are offered. If the board votes to go into executive session, the reasons shall be stated. Please notify the board chair if you are having difficulty seeing or hearing. This meeting is being digitally recorded and broadcast on YouTube. In each instance, the burden is upon the applicant to demonstrate compliance with the provisions of the applicable ordinance or ordinances. After the board votes on the merits of each project, it will prepare a written opinion which will be forwarded within 7 days. The board works on a prepared agenda and will consider this evening's meeting in the following order. Roll call. First order of business, Don Cook, Salem Capital Group, 301 Middle Road, map 4, lot 43-4. Reopen gas station, convenience store at 301 Middle Road. Set agenda, public hearing and meeting for 9/4/24. The CEO updates, read it and approve the fourth quarter report. Review of the minutes. Old business is Harbor Residential Subdivision and Seth Drown at 35 Duke Lane. Can we have pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Long as you wave. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Bill Single, 8 Single Lane.
Kelly Demers, 10 Partridge Way.
Cecile Dupuy, 53 Chapel Shores Road.
Kevin Bear, 64 Bugging Pond Road.
Right. So we have quorum. All right, and Mr. Dan Cook is not present.
Rebecca's gonna go try to give him a call and see if he's just running a little late.
Okay, so we will move that down,
Move it down, you can do the minutes.
and if not, it will be moved on to the 9/4 meeting, in which case we will postpone his public hearing until we hear back from him.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I move to make Bill a full voting member for tonight's meeting.
For the next meeting or this meeting?
For tonight's meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is motion and approved that Bill Singh be voted a full voting member for the September 4th, 2024 meeting.
Can we pause a moment?
Yes?
I'm not getting any sound from YouTube.
I got a green light, green light, green light, green light.
Hello?
Green light, all right, hang on, let me try some more. I just wanna make sure that it's working.
Mhm.
Yes, we're live, we know. All right, say something.
Say something. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
No.
Check, check, check.
Maybe it's me. All right, we're good.
We're good?
Kevin says we're good.
Okay, so we will move on. Wow.
Oh, Bill. I have a message from, sorry, excuse me. Mr. Vice Chairman, may I approach the bench?
Yes.
Email the town manager that you want to be a full voting member instead of a
Okay.
alternate. She said do that but she needs to hear from you.
Yep.
All right?
Sounds good.
Mr. Single, do you wish to be a full voting member of the planning board for the town of
If
Lyman?
you wish to.
Of course.
Does the board wish to have Mr. Single as a full voting member for the planning board?
Yes.
Yes.
It needs a motion.
We have the board full recommendation that Mr. Single be accepted and approved as a full voting member for the planning board for the municipality of the town of Lyman.
You made the motion. Who seconded?
Motion
This is-
second,
all right.
unanimous,
I'll send that email in the morning.
publicly recorded as such. Okay, so we have nothing from Mr. Cook unless he comes in later on. I will say that we hold off on the setting the agenda for the next meeting in case something comes up. We have let's do the CEO's report. She's not here. She's not.
How about the minutes?
She went to call Dan to see if he was running behind.
We'll skip over to the minutes for August 7th. Do we have any nits, picks, changes, comments, recommendations?
Looks really good.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes for August 7th, 2024.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Signature. All right, while that's being signed and passed around.
Oh, it's on the floor. Sorry, I thought I knocked it down when I gave you your sticky note.
Oh, I remember it being here, I just,
Bill,
at least it wasn't in mine.
All right, has everyone gotten a copy of the fourth quarter fiscal year 23-24 and reviewed it?
Yes.
Any nits, picks, comments, questions, revisions, requests?
It's a seltzer, there's no sugar in there.
I think you did an awesome job. Thank you so much. I'll entertain a motion that we accept the London Planning Board quarterly report for fourth fiscal year 23-24.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, that's got to go back. So now that the CEO is back, do we have any reports, interests, comments, queries?
Yeah, the only thing that I have is, Scott and Seth Drown, have decided to basically put, the site plan review application on hold till they can get a survey done, which I guess they're a few weeks out. And so what he's going to do is just focus on, construction at the property. So, then I'll just be handling that part. So as soon as they get their survey done and they get everything together, they'll be back on the agenda.
Okay, so this is on hold till further notice.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. No asking us for anything?
No, it's been a quiet week.
today.
Don't say that too loud.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Really? I think so.
Were you able to reach Mr. Crooks?
No, I got a voicemail. I left a voicemail and I gave him the cell number, but I haven't heard from him. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion that we postpone Mr. Dan Cook, Salem Capital Group, 301 Middle Road, map 4, lot 43-4, till the September 4th meeting and hold off on the public hearing until we hear back.
But, Mr. Vice Chairman, may I make a comment?
Yes, please.
The abutter letters have already gone out stating the public hearing is on the 4th.
Mhm.
The ad is running in the Reporter tomorrow. It's already been set for tomorrow to run, for the public hearing to run on the 4th.
Why not have a public hearing anyway? At
It's
least
been-
we can get the input.
We're not following zoning ordinance though. We are not supposed to have a public hearing until that site plan has been completed.
Considered, yeah.
No.
We can,
Call them and cancel it.
or we can just have an open discussion to the public.
Excited to do that. We're excited, get up in the barn, to the door there.
That wouldn't qualify as a public hearing though.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be a public, just be input.
Informal input from the public. Open it up. if they want.
Honestly, I don't see why we don't have the public hearing before anyway to get the input from the abutters. So that we have that.
Normally, we have waited until the site plan review has been completely approved. And then we have the public hearing, which can cause us to go back and review stuff. But then there's the site plan review, then there's a review of the 16 standards.
With,
Just a comment, looking at the other boards
Yep.
that are, what they're doing, a lot of them are holding multiple hearings,
yeah,
public hearings before they do the official stuff.
Mm.
So it's semi-official, official,
Yep.
almost.
I agree.
the church next door, they were lacking their septic, and we held a public hearing.
Mhm.
So,
The conditional, yeah, I agree.
Well, I think what he's getting at, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get on track so
I
we do it the
know.
right way.
I know.
But I think we should have that input before so we can consider it
Mhm.
while we're doing the work.
Because you never know what resident's gonna come out and say, I like this, or I don't like this.
The thing I think you look at is say, okay, you can call it a public hearing, but maybe it's not the official public hearing according to the charter and the requirements, but we do have that at its time so we can comply, so we just have an extra one.
If necessary, you can always add another public hearing.
Right.
If more information is needed.
And want me to read from the ordinance?
Sure.
Which one
Yeah.
are we looking at?
It's 8.3.5, the application is the title. Following the filing of an application, the board shall review the application for completeness using the checklist provided to the applicant. Once the board votes that the application is complete, the board may require a site walk. Before the board can take action on any application, the planning board shall hold a public hearing on the application within 45 days of the board's determination that the application is complete. Then the planning board shall notify the code enforcement officer, board of selectmen, and zoning board of appeals at least 20 days in advance of the public hearing.
So we shouldn't have held a sidewalk.
MMA at our last meeting we had last month recommended that we should have those meetings first. Have them afterwards when they're required, but to have them first so that you could, and they also said that we shouldn't even look at it until your office says this is complete, it's a full application. We
That's-
shouldn't even look at it.
That proposed list of,
Do you remember that? I
I
do.
do. But it's, I'm not allowed to determine if it's complete though. That's according to ordinance, that's, you
right,
guys have to determine that. I can only give you what I've been given. I'm, yeah.
I agree, but I think what MMA was saying is your office looks at it and says, this is ready to go forward, give it to the planning board, they can vote to say it's complete.
right.
Right.
But until you've determined that everything is there, it doesn't come forward. Because they were saying it just cuts down that time you have to spend on it.
I would have to see timeframe wise from when they apply to when you guys have to make a determination what that timeframe is, to make sure that we're fitting within the ordinance, what the ordinance says for timeframe.
Well, I think that our part starts on the day it's complete.
Right.
You know, it could take weeks before it's complete, if it's missing this, missing
Yeah.
that.
I've seen it take months with certain
Right.
subdivisions.
But once we say it's complete, now that's when the clock starts ticking.
That's when we have 40 to 5 days.
Process, we have to go through the checklist, public hearing schedule, site walk, all of that within a certain amount of time.
But I don't think it would be inappropriate if we said, okay, this is not the public hearing according to the requirements. This is a public hearing, so we hear all the stuff up front so we can determine what needs to take place. And then we have the public hearing according to the requirements. We can do it either way.
The applicant has to show the public the plan. And if there's no plan to show, it's incomplete or missing, then it's a waste of everyone's time.
Right. The other thing that is missing from us, I think, just like the select board has, before the general meeting, the public can speak for 5 minutes. We don't offer that option.
I think we're even a little more specific than the select board. They've got to look at everything.
Right.
We don't.
But if we have concern from Mr. Smith, who lives on Elm Street, that Mr. Jones is putting his dock over his line or wants to do this or see something, they may not know how to approach the CEO. Or they may just come up and say, hey, I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. Let me bring you donuts next time.
I'd vote for that.
Yeah.
Whatever way you think we should do it, I'm good.
I think that my person, Mr. Vice Chairman,
He's approachable.
my feeling on some of these is the applicant is really rushing you.
Right,
I don't know if you've gotten that the last couple of months. Sometimes the applicants really seem to be, I need this, and then rushing us saying, when can we get this on? When can we get this done? What's the next meeting? When can we have this all finished? So we're fumbling through some steps.
just
Not
remember,
being as,
failure to prepare on their part does not determine an emergency on
You're
ours.
working out the kinks.
we have somebody in our office that says that.
Yes, and, I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Becky, you are thrown into there going, awesome job you're doing.
I welcome her to codes all the time.
You don't have to smile when you say that.
And you're in a position that you have the authority to say, stop, wait, let's do this right.
Right.
You know, and don't be afraid to use that.
Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in their urgency.
Yeah,
Right.
it is, but the onus is on them to make sure that
Exactly.
their application
It is,
is,
yeah.
that they're bringing what everything is required.
Right.
My job is to say, this needs to go on the agenda, this doesn't need to go on the agenda. It is, so that's the fine line I have to walk.
Right,
It
and,
is on them to make sure that.
and, you know, they're always gonna be concerned about financial figures. That's neither yours nor our concern.
But we have to be aware.
We have to be
We gotta look
cognizant of it,
forward.
but it is not a determinant factor in us making our decisions.
I think we're all learning how to do this.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So we're gonna have a
Together.
open discussion next meeting to the public. Hopefully, Mr. Cook will show up at the next meeting with information required to complete his application.
Mr.
Well,
Chair,
technically, it's a public hearing
what
because of the
information are we
notices,
missing?
right?
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue, because we'll just, when it comes time, we'll have another public hearing.
Okay.
We are missing
Are we talking about this one particular?
this one particular
So-
one.
So we know that he's indicated lights on here, and our visual observation is most of them are broken. Are they gonna be fixed? What's up? What's the plan?
And typically, when we're doing a site plan review of a commercial property such as that, we are also requiring the location, the illumination, the intensity. Are they on 24/7? Are they timed so that they're not pointing up and blinding traffic going by? There are a number of sources in former applications that we have approved that will show we're using Sylvania, this type of setup, it has so many looms, this is the downward projection, it's gonna be at this height. Some of that may, I don't know if the code enforcement office has the original plan stashed somewhere from 2004.
I have a question, if I could, and actually for you. Does the electrical inspector go out and look at these? Well, I mean, before we approve anything, we gotta make sure things are working, right? Or somebody does.
Usually inspections happen after we're moving
Oh.
forward with the build, before we get any kind of a certificate of occupancy or completion or something. But the electrical inspector, I don't know that he goes out unless somebody's pulled a permit. I'd have to ask him.
Well, they're asking for planning board approval, and this is just this one thing, we know these lights are broken, where do we stand with that?
Right.
You know, that would not, I don't think that would be a wise approval if it's dangerous because they're broken.
Right, which is why he should be here, because he would answer that question. And
Okay.
then he would make, he would make steps to get whatever taken care of.
The way I'm looking at this is if this was similar to two other convenience store fuel stations that we have approved that were based on hypothetical conditions. If this is done, it will meet this. But one of the concerns we had on the site walk was, yes, we have, I'm presuming it's roughly a 10,000 gallon fuel tank above grade. What is a condition of the containment area? We have trees that are surrounding that fence. Have those trees potentially damage the underground fuel lines? That was
Yeah,
concerns
we
expressed.
went through the checklist last meeting, and it was all contingent on the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk,
Anything that came up. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a list together and stuff.
I say we open the meeting up to public comments, any topic.
No, I think it has to be specific to it if we call the meeting for that. We have the input on that, and we'll just have another public hearing later to make sure we meet the requirements. But it'd be nice to have that upfront input, if the neighbors have questions or concerns.
Do we have a full completed application? I think
No,
we don't. right? I think there was one posted, I think there was one online, but it looked pretty empty to me. It didn't have all the
I
information.
thought that he added more. And that was
There's
put
an
on.
inquiry form. That's, I think, inquiry form, but that, not a site plan application.
There is an application, but it's
It's not complete, is it?
not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I saw that online. So we really need to have documentation before, to me anyway, that's my opinion.
I'm not gonna harp on, or beat on Rebecca, but we need a fully prepared packet presented to us. And this is not your fault.
I think,
No, this is the applicant's.
right,
As we always say, the burden of proof is on the applicant.
Yeah.
They are given a checklist they must meet. Now, they can come to us, ask us for
and
guidance.
it's not, it's just general purpose.
That's fine,
And
but
he-
that
he
guidance
did.
is not,
So it's the two print.
The application.
No, this was, I think that was last meeting.
Yeah, okay, because I didn't get that. But
It
see, there's a
also-
lot of it, there's no
It also
follow-ups.
included his,
Yeah, I have that, but this is,
did you get the pages that requested?
there's still flood
Waivers.
dimensions not in there. Sewage disposal's not in there. I mean, it's not complete.
or I can-
All right. So we'll put Mr. Cook on after the public hearing, which we've already scheduled.
Yep.
Anything else for the next meeting?
That's it.
That's all I got.
Mr. Drown's not gonna be ready by then, he's on hold. Nothing new on Harper Residential Subdivision, they're on hold. Okay, we've already voted on the fourth quarter report, we've already voted on the minutes. Yes, Kevin?
Bringing up something that was in the quarterly report.
Yes.
Our public hearing for the drawing a blank on this thing. The subdivision performance guarantee. I know that went off to legal, was it?
I believe so.
And it's been several months. Have we heard anything?
I have not.
Because, yeah.
I knew there was discussion, I have to look into see, let me look into that, and see if I got anything on that.
I think, wasn't that mentioned at the select board meeting this
I
week?
don't know.
I don't know, I was half listening, sometimes when listening, I drift off. I thought I heard something about that.
Let me see, I'll talk to the town manager tomorrow. And, I can let you know.
Okay. All right. One of the things we had started working on last year, and it was a suggestion from one of our wonderful retired members, Mr. Don Herman. This was a site plan notice of decision checklist. And I think we never fully adopted it, but I think this is something very useful.
I thought that we did adopt it, but when I made copies, I forgot to take the draft mark off them.
Would you have to get that sent to you from Don? Or have him send you the original copy where you can remove the draft?
And it's the what?
It is, official title is Title of Lyman, Maine Planning Board Site Plan Review Notice of Decision Checklist,
Oh, yes.
revision 11/21/23.
Yeah. Yes, because I've been using that.
Oh, you have?
I think I have one without the draft mark on it that I copied, I took the draft mark off. I think I used it for, can't remember who,
But it's another tool that
Yes.
you find beneficial.
oh, yes, because I put the meeting dates on, I write it all down, there's usually one in the folder. I'm slacking on this one, I write the meeting dates, when the public hearing's held, when the thing
Yeah.
notice
That's
goes on
nice
the
and
paper.
Again, it's another way to track things.
It was a nice convenient way to track things while they were happening, instead of trying to go back.
Mhm.
Unfortunately,
The minutes that
it got
were
away,
signed. I don't want to have to answer to the boss.
that's right. Did you lose my official signed copies?
Post-its still attached. Is there anything else come before the board tonight? Anything else? Comments, questions? Then I'll entertain a motion to,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
we have a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Closed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure as always.
Boy, if all the meetings could go this quick.
Wow, this
Look, the
this is
thing.
the quickest.
Oh,